All righty, we are here. We are in the building. Hey, yeah, I forgot.
Right.
Normally, y'all see the countdown, but I forgot to do the countdown.
Frederick. Okay, guys, we are live right to it. I was prepared for the little 30 seconds we have, but no 30 seconds. We're into it. Live Token of the Truth with me, Lady Dre Renee, and Freddie B. You guys, I'm super excited to be back. We were gone last week, but we're here this Tuesday. And there's been some things going on in social media that we're going to be talking about and that I actually had to look up. I was very confused at one of our topics today, but we got some good ones. Would you rather be in the forest with a bear or a man? This has caused some great debate. We also have a lady who said she wishes that later in the past she realized that her husband was right about everything. Have lots to say about that. And then also we'll be talking about a couple who is getting married and going to prom all at the same time on the same day. Engagement and prom all on the same day. So we're going to get into it. Live with me
Yeah,
and Freddie B.
let me hit my do not disturb on.
Oh
For
yeah,
my do not
same.
disturb. Yeah. So guys,
Same,
you know, I
same,
mean, maybe
same.
for the guys, if you're not on our YouTube, please can you please tap in with us on our YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. Get in with our YouTube, hit that live. The live tab has all of our lives, and tap in with us there. So if you want to pop in, you can pop in, guys. And we're gonna talk about a deep one. The first one, bear versus man, like Dre just said. And so, if anybody wants to cam up with us, feel free. You can cam up with us, as the case with any week. Definitely want to hear what you guys got to say. With this one, I've been talking to a lot of women because it's directed at women. So I've been going and talking to a lot of women, and so I'm going to present what they said. And
Oh,
so
what the
with
women
that.
said about the bear in the
Yeah, I
woods, the
mean,
man?
I think I want to lead with what all these women are saying, and then maybe I may add to it, but I want to lead with that.
Okay, should I show the Instagram first
Yes. You can
that we have?
show what.
Okay. So what I have here that I'm going to be pulling up for you guys is a comment made by a man that has basically already done the research and I think and talked about his thoughts on the bear versus man. So he is on the ladies' side. So I'll go ahead and share my screen and then we will get into this topic right here. So bear versus man. Big topic going on at the moment. Basically, you guys, there was a person on TikTok, I don't remember their account name, and they started this whole viral movement of would you rather be stuck in the forest with a man or a bear? And I even had a girlfriend say yesterday to me, that's why I'm choosing the bear. That's why I'm choosing the bear. And I was sitting there like, what is she talking about? So I had to get online and look this up. So as you can see, we have a user Supernatural on Instagram saying, see, as a man type person, I remember the last time I thought experiment like the bear in the woods came around and I effing listened. It was heartbreaking. For those who don't remember, it went like this. Ladies, all the men in the world disappear for 24 hours. They're fine. They come back. But during those 24 hours, what are you doing? Walking up at the street at night alone, leaving my drink at the bar while I pee, sitting outside topless and just existing. Dudes, it's us, not the bear. And men are currently in an uproar because they're feeling, attacked, for no pun intended, meaning, a lot of people are saying they'd rather be with the bear in the woods versus a man. And there was even a clip of a guy and his girlfriend said, hey, would you rather have your daughter alone in the woods with a bear or a man? And he paused. He did not say a man. So this is coming from the place that, when a man is alone with a woman, all the things that can happen. And so people are saying, oh, I'd rather be eaten in the woods or a bear will listen versus a man who will possibly attack and rape me. I hate to use that word, but that's essentially
Yeah,
what this
please,
conversation.
don't use that word no more.
Okay,
Like,
yeah, we won't use that word anymore. We won't use that word anymore because we'll
say
get
great.
flagged.
You can say great, but not don't
Great.
because the
Yes.
algorithm and
Yeah, we'll get flagged. We'll get flagged. Okay.
yeah.
So, yes, the R word, that a man will do the R word. And yeah, it's pretty intense right now. A lot of people are very upset about this. And people are saying in the comments, like, this is why they would choose the bear because men are really getting upset. And then some people, this guy said, I'm a hiking guide and had one particular close call with a massive grizzly that scared the S out of me. And it's forever seared in my memory. I've been in many situations with men that scared me more than that moment. Those of you who think we are saying we chose the bear to make you angry, open your eyes. Another guy saying like men, this is the guy who really understands. So yeah, when it comes to men and men were disappearing for 24 hours, as this meme says, women would feel comfortable to walk alone in the streets at night, leave their doors unlocked. No one would stare, no one would attack. And so essentially they're saying the bear would not do this. I don't really know. I honestly, I didn't know what my answer would be. I was like, God, I need a moment to think about this, because even if there have been moments where you do communicate with a man and say, hey, no, this and that, and they will continue. And then there was a video of a guy telling a bear to go away, like, hey, you need to go away, buddy. And the bear just turned around. Everyone's like, oh, we'll see, you could tell a bear and a bear will do what it's supposed to do, but a man will not. So this is really wild. And there's already, you guys, a gender war going on. People are already angry. Men are mad at the women are mad at the men, and this is not helping. Freddie?
Nah, it's not. I don't know. Me personally, I don't know why men get angry at this. Like, if a woman feel that way, she feel that way too. I just.
Did you say 2 tears? You said 2 tears in a bucket?
Yeah. Yeah, like 2 tears in the bucket. Like, I don't understand. Like, me, like, I am of the ilk of, like, I try to help. I try to, like, because I've come across a lot of delusional women when it comes to relationships. Women wanting particular men, but they are not what those men would want, nor do they put themselves in the position to attain those men. So I try to tell them, and then women like, no, you trying to humble me. Da, da, da. Okay, okay. You feel like I'm trying to humble you? That's fine. We can stop talking. We don't have to have this conversation. Because I don't care either way, because I'm not trying to date a man. And if you are alone for the rest of your life and you don't have the man that you want, it will not affect me. You will just finally get it. And the thing is I can think off the top of my head 5 different women who I've known for since we were at least in our back when I was in Nashville. They all in Nashville. So I've known for over the past decade. And even then, they wanted that guy to be the leader, to be the guy who comes in, protects and provides, and he's strong and he's smarter, he can guide her and all this type of stuff. They want that, but then they operate totally different. They operate as this independent woman. I don't need no man, and this, that, and the third. And all of these women are now in their early 40s now. And then since then, they all have dated total F boys. Men who, like, they have no problem coming in and letting them be the strong, independent women that they want to be and call all the shots. They're totally fine, because they're like, hey, I get to have sex, get to get topped off, and I get to drive her car all around the city and do all these types of things. And then they finally realize this is some BS, and then they break up with them, and they be like, men ain't crap. No, that's not how this works. So with the bear thing, it's like, if women want to choose the bear, that's fine. But the thing is, I get it. Because you're talking about humans are the dominant animal in the world for a reason. Like, humans are more dominant than every other animal. Even if an animal is wild, hungry, got these claws and talons and fangs, for a reason, because of our brains. We can look at things and figure things out and deconstruct things and all this type of things. So I get why somebody would choose a bear, because a bear is very linear. Like, animals are very linear. Like, if you know, especially some people who hunt or been out in the wild, you know how bears act. They're very linear. Like, if you don't do this, then they more than likely will do this.
Right.
If you do this, they more than likely will do that. But the thing with the bear is, if that bear somehow falls outside of what you know to do, and that bear sees you as a threat, even though you thought you didn't do anything, oh, it's a wrap. It is over. There's nothing that you're going to be able to do against that. But you can't kick the bear in the nuts. You can't poke his eyes out. You can't claw him to get away, to take a stick, and none of that. You're dead, and you're going to die a horrible death. So there's that. But here's what I do want to introduce to this. Because we talked about this on the phone, and I told you I talked to this one the first young lady I actually talked to her in person, and I asked her. She said she would pick the man. And this is a woman who's been sexually essayed before. She's been raped before. She's been involved with those before. Because the reason why I bring this up is because I posted on my Facebook too, and a lot of the people on my Facebook are like some of the women, they've encountered that, and so it's kind of like a visceral reaction to a man they don't know and just being alone. And you've been followed before, and you've had to endure those things. I get it. You kind of like, you didn't treat all men like that, which, in other instances, we may not want that. But, if you're scarred in that way, you're going to act like that. But what she said was, I
Oh
would
yeah,
choose
what'd
the
she
man. I
say?
would not choose the bear, because if I'm lost, because the scenario is if you lost in the woods, right?
It just says if you are alone in the woods, would you rather if you're alone?
Oh, that makes it
I
even
don't know
more
if it says
stupider.
if you're lost. It just says would you rather be stuck in the woods with this person or that person?
Oh, that makes it even stupider. But because if you just in the woods, like leave the woods, like why are you just sitting in like, leave the woods, go home,
But
like.
that's the whole
But
thing. That's the whole thing is they're saying like the man would essentially possibly attack and the bear would listen and some people are just saying like this article says it's an absurd question, but if you sit there and think about it, how women really feel about men, and then they're wanting men to see what it feels like to be a woman. And it's like, of course you'd rather be in the woods with a human being rather than a large beastly animal, with terrifying teeth and claws that could maul and maim you. At best, it could kill you instantly. Bears don't always stop to kill their prey before they start consuming them either. But when you stop to think for a second, actually, would you rather be alone with a strange man, far from anyone who could offer help, where no one could hear you scream? And so then this is where all these responses come from, and this is the guy that said about his daughter. I don't know if we want to play this or not, but he just basically was like, he answered the question. He didn't really know. He didn't know what he would do. He had to stop and think about it for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is also what we see, like guys like me, and how we treat women, like that's not readily projected. Like people, like anybody who's watching this, you've never met me before. You have no clue how I treat a woman. I could be the guy that you would be scared to be with. I could be the great guy. You don't know. But the thing is, we do know those bad apples. We do know those bad characters that our own dumb stuff that we see. Like speaking of which, like here in New York, it's this story. It's this guy. I don't know if they caught him yet or not, but I think he's great essay like two or three women. And they caught him on video one time. He's in the Bronx. They caught him on video, and he like runs up behind women and he put a belt over this one woman, her neck, and then drug her in between the two cars, and then went to town on her. And it's like,
What?
yeah, like in New York City, he ran up behind her, put a belt around her neck, pulled it so it was then tight, and then drug her down the street in between two cars, and then just went to town in between two cars in the streets of New York. So, you see something like that, and then it's like,
Right.
I get as a woman, because the thing, and I think this speaks to the inequality between, like, women aren't the same. Like men are stronger. Like men and women are biologically and actually different. We are not the same. Like I'm a
100%. We
man,
are
you're a
not the
woman. Like
same. We are not the
right.
same.
And I think that we lose this sometimes, but then it comes back up in these instances when I think it's something that needs to be punctuated. Period. So then that the learning and the teaching can happen between men and women, because I think a lot of men and men speaking about, like, the men do this, they lose that piece, and they think that, okay, this woman is my equal, and so then but then I can take it, and so then I take it. When it's like if it's taught like, hey, in this realm, like, you aren't equal to a woman. The woman is the weaker vessel in this realm, and you should take care. Like, she's a weaker vessel, so therefore you should cherish and take care of a woman in that regard. We start teaching that more, then I think some of these things will change. But
You're saying you're just speaking physically speaking.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
because we're talking about the man versus the bear. We're talking about actual physical assault. Yeah. So physically speaking, like, women are a weaker vessel than men. Like, we are not the same. That just is what it is. Not saying a
And
woman is less than or worth less.
right.
Not
And the
saying
thing
that,
is
but that
about
just
that,
is what it is.
it is what it is. And I know that there may be some people viewing, hi mom, that may, be upset about that. But to me, it's one of those things where I don't even like, why do we need to argue that? Like we're not the same. And I think that that's okay. Like I don't know why we're spending so much time having this debate about what we need to do and versus something that, look, some things, yeah, in the workplace, if a woman or it can do something mentally better than a guy, like that's fine. But I had someone tell me a story about a woman at their job. They worked in law enforcement, and there was a woman who was getting upset because she wasn't being asked to do certain physical labor things that this guy was asking other people to do. And she was getting upset. She's like, why would you not ask me? Why would you not ask me? So he was like, okay, I'm going to ask you. So he started asking, he's like, hey, do you want to go build this fence with me? And she was like, oh, well, I don't want to do that. And he's like, okay, do you want to go, move all this wood with me? And she's like, no. And he's like, okay, like what is going on here? Like, you're getting upset that I'm not asking you, but is this for the sake of me, you just wanting me to ask you, so you can say no and feel included? And I was like, girl, go do something else. It's all right if you don't want to do it, but don't make a thing that they didn't ask you. If at the end of the day, if you actually want to do it, okay, that's one thing to go make a fuss. But like, to make a fuss and then continue saying no absolutely makes zero sense to me. Zero sense.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the main thing. Like, I think it's like a level of like control. It's like everybody wants to be, I think, like, and once again, I probably say this every week, but social media, I think, has a lot to do with this. Like, people feel like they have to be included in everything. And it's like, this situation may not include you. And it may not include you for a myriad of different reasons. Like, it may not include you because you're a woman. It's fine. This other thing may not include you because you're a man. It may not include you because you're short. It may not include you because you're tall. It may not include you because you're skinny. It may not include you because you're fat. All different things that may exclude you from something because of some type of thing. And the thing is like, with it being based in logic, like in that case, like, he's doing physical hard labor and she mad because she not included. And it's like, I don't include you because, well, what's the point? Like, you can't do it.
But if you like, and then to be asked the next day and
then you don't want to do it.
And then she's like, oh, well, no, I don't want to really do that. And it's like, girl, you're not helping the cause. You're not helping the cause. You're really not helping the cause. But yeah, this is definitely created. It's so interesting, the things that go viral and the things that really make a mark on our society, especially in social media. And everybody has these very strong opinions about this. Obviously, men are, because look, obviously this isn't true of all men, but I think on a daily basis, the things that women experience is what this is speaking to. And that's why I had that other clip up earlier. But this was the article that I sent to you earlier about this. And, it just kind of breaks down what the actual thing was about. And then how, a man being asked this question about his own daughter and how he had to pause as well. And then his wife being like, well, isn't it horrifying? And it says many of the comments in the video are women leaving hilarious but depressing retorts like, at least people would believe me if I was attacked by a bear, or no one would ask what I was wearing if it was a bear. Some men seemed incredibly offended by this, as if it's a personal attack on them. One man even said that women were privileged to rather be alone with a bear since his mom was attacked by one. So there's all, people coming on. And then here's a video of a woman, I don't know, who is, telling a guy to leave her alone, and the guy didn't leave her alone. So, there's just all kinds of things going on. I think I'm frozen. Am I frozen?
Yeah, okay, I think you still got too much stuff saved on your computer.
Freddie, I've been deleting, but clearly not enough.
External.
I know. It's wild.
So here's the thing. So let me say this. I fashioned the conversation to if you were lost in the woods. If you were lost in the woods and there was a man you didn't know roaming around, or a grizzly bear roaming around, which one would you choose? And so a lot of people chose, like a lot of women chose a bear, but what I was saying was, the girl that I asked, she picked a man, and she said the reason being is because, like, I'm lost. At least if I pick a man, I have an opportunity to find my way out. We can work together and find our way out and find our way back to civilization. If I'm lost just with the bear, then, like, who knows when I'm gonna find, if I ever do. Then it's just a matter of time of me being mauled by the bear. And so that's why she picked a man. But even with that question, there was still some women picking a bear. And then some women asked, like, oh, do I have my 9mm? Do I have a 9? Like one girl asked, do I have a 9? And
I mean, that's so tough. I mean, look at this little part right here where it says, what would men be afraid of if they were in a room with 100 women? And it says probably being ridiculed, but ask a woman that, and what she would be fear of would be much darker. It's the R word, death, or both, you know? So, I mean, this is really upsetting. And I never even thought of this stuff that way.
I think the thing is that, so there are like double standards, and then this is an example of a double standard because men like this is once again is, and so what this is doing, it is equating men and women, but then it's not. It's equating men and women by saying like vice versa. If a man was in a room with 100, like you would have to change around the dynamic of the analogy to make it equatable because men are we're stronger than women. Our physical power is stronger than women.
Yeah.
Women are more in tune with like feelings and intuition and more devious, if you will, if I can use that word, but like more mentally adept than men. It's just like men don't really catch up to women mentally until about in their 30s. You can pretty
That's
much say
very true. Men
all
do
the way
get
through your
older.
20s. Women are way more mentally adept on how to move, like little nuances and figuring out, okay, this is how I need to move. And like I use the word devious, but I don't want the negative connotation to be there. So if you can think about what I can't think of another word to put there, but if you can think about what devious means, but just without the negative connotation, that's what women have the advantage over men over. And so you can't use that same example together when men and women are, and what you're comparing is the physical nature, and we're talking about a physical assault, sexual assault, raping, all these types of things. Like a woman just can't do that to a man. So you can put a man in the room with 1,000 women. Like it still won't yield the same result as a woman in the room with 50 men because of just the physical nature. So but like I said, I think the messaging here is like sometimes people like try to give messaging and the messaging here is just all muddled and it's haphazard and it's lazy, to be honest. Like what's trying to be communicated, I get it and I agree, because even as a man, like I was just talking about this earlier. I talked about this with the young lady. Then we also talked about like as a man, like I started talking about me going to the gas station. Like I'm at the gas. Oh, matter of fact, Charlemagne the guy posted a meme that's kind of related to this, and it was like it's talking about me as an older guy going into a gas station and 5 Quando Rondos come in and out, and me trying to get out there, and it's like it's Kevin Hart in like a little onesie giving a salute. It's like, yeah, you get older, these little young dudes coming in and out the gas, and you at the gas station, they on dummy. Like you just trying to get out there with your life. Like
Right.
you just trying to, but even as a man, it's the same way, because that's just based on the nature of men. Men is all about conquering. It don't matter what it is. Look in the history of life, all the wars were started by men. Like men did this because that's just in the nature of men. But the thing is women have natures too. Like both the genders have positive and negative natures. And so the thing is we understand that, but they're all in different realms. So in this realm, like, yeah, that's the case. But like if I had a daughter, it's like, okay, you're gonna be lost in the woods with a man or a grizzly bear. I'm gonna say the man, and
Well,
hopefully
yeah.
y'all get out from the woods.
If you're using
Because
the
the thing,
context of being lost, absolutely. I think a lot of people would choose the human to, especially, and I know for me, because I'm directionally challenged, I can't get anywhere, to be honest.
but I posted that in my post. Hold on, wait. I'll pull this up. Let me pull this up. Hold on, what how do we present? Oh, share screen. I had a brain fart for a minute.
I mean, yeah, when it comes to directions, it's all hands off deck for me. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, I'm pretty good at directions, but here we go. So let's see. This young lady right here, bears usually don't bother you as long as you don't bother them. With random men, it's not the same. And this one lady, she was saying like, she, as you can see right here, she's been taken advantage of. And then she was saying about how she's been cussed out for politely, which that's I really understand about dudes. Like dudes trying to holler at a chick, but but usually that's the super ignorant hood dudes that.
Usually.
Yeah, that's like the dudes who just wild ignorant. They like, and that's such a small part of the
And they're
population. So
immature,
right,
young.
and this girl right here, as you can see, she said, "Question: Do I have my 9 or not?" And when she said that, I'm like, okay. So here's the thing with a bear. It's a reason why they have special guns and artillery for like elephants and bears, because a handgun will do nothing to a bear. You shoot a bear with a 9, you just gonna act. Now he definitely gonna come get you now because you're a threat. He's gonna come kill you and he's gonna come maim you. You're definitely gonna die then, but he's not gonna
Right.
die. Then this one girl, let me find what she said. She said right here, "I'll take the bear. That way, if I have to put it down for acting weird, I expect it." I said, "Could you go more to death?" And then I said, "How you putting the bear down?" She said, "With my 9. And even if I didn't have it, I'll still take my chances with the bear. We know the nature of a provoked bear. If I see the bear and the bear sees me, I stand a good chance of walking away unscathed because survival classes teach you what to do in
Wow.
case of encounter a bear in the woods." And then I told her, 9mm doesn't stop a bear, though. By no means. You would just, like what I just said, you'll die a gruesome death. Then she said, a 9mm with bad aim won't stop a bear. But if I'm making all headshots, my chances are greater. But that will only be if I realize the bear is agitated and coming my way. Then may the odds be ever in my favor. He thinks,
Okay.
like, if people really think that you're going to hit one, doing a headshot, you got to be a trained marksman. You don't have a gun and just be popping people in the head like it's
No.
Call of Duty. That's not
No.
how that works.
That's
That's
not
not how that works. But that's what she thinks, and then she's going to shoot. And then I said, I just bust out laughing. Headshot. I think you're playing Call of Duty too much. I haven't read this. I'm reading it live on air with y'all. No, I don't play games, so I be at the gun range getting my stats up. I always carry 2 extra clips with hollow tips at the ready. If it's my life or the Bears, it's my computer just went black. Hold on, wait.
Oh dear. Well, we got Vino
Okay.
here.
Okay. He said, if my life or the Bears, I'm getting every single round I got until I can't no more and still safer than a man. So then she kind of pulled back off. I'm just getting headshots. Right. Because like she knew like you go to gun range that much, shoot somebody in the head, like and from afar, but but going back to the point, a lot of women are still choosing the bear even if they're lost in the woods. So
yes. But we got Vino in behind the stage.
we got Vino. All right, we're gonna bring Vino. Let's bring Vino up. Okay, I'm gonna try not to go crazy and go nuts this time.
Oh my God.
All right, 3 people.
Yeah, I did it.
I gotta stop sharing. That's what I gotta do. Okay, there we go. I stopped sharing. Okay. I see. I kept my composure. Dre, you happy?
You did. Oh, well, pull it up, take it down. I was like, oh my God.
All right, we here. We got my man Vino. Vino, where you from, man?
I'm originally from Nashville, but right now I reside in Texas. Right now.
Okay, so you in Texas. So you kind of see what we talking about. We talking about if I think you have a daughter, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about asking women, if you were lost in the woods, would you rather be lost in the woods with a strange man or a grizzly bear? And so with your daughter, would you rather your daughter be lost in the woods with a strange man or a grizzly bear?
When the way this generation is, I would choose an animal over a human because these humans nowadays is dumb. So I mean, these humans nowadays wouldn't know how to get out of a forest if they was even lost in the first place. I mean, really, an animal is more smarter than a human anyway.
Okay.
So I mean, if you
So you're saying what you're saying is a bear is smarter than a human, so you'd rather your daughter link up with the bear to find her way out the woods.
Technically, yeah, because if we go back to like the animals basically in Africa, animals in Africa really don't harm you unless you harm them.
Okay.
So it's like I don't know what happened when the animals came to America, how they got so defensive, but it's like the animals in other country is
I love him.
more protective than anything. So animals are really the type of species where if you're not gonna harm me, I'm not gonna harm you.
You say it, Vino.
Well, let me say this: bears never existed in Africa. Bears only existed in North America, and they came from over. A lot of them came over from Asia, where Alaska and Russia used to be connected, along with the Native Americans. So some came there. So that's why in Alaska you find a lot of black bears, so on and so forth. But you have your brown bears that are more indigenous to North America. And so the thing is so you saying that as your daughter. So you as a man, are you a man that 100% that you could be in the woods with a woman and she be totally fine? And if so, why?
A woman, for me, a woman would be fine with me because I was raised on the generation where I was out in the woods. I was a Boy Scout. We camped in the woods. We was pretty much just ran up on the critters and pet the critters and did all like that. I mean, so and I know how to use a map, a compass, and all that. So that's the generation I brought up
So
on.
so
So
so you
Vino's
know how to
not going
you
to
know
be
how to
doing anything because he can get around with the directions. Correct, Vino?
Right.
but the question I want to ask, I want to go more so toward what is being addressed in the article and kind of what a lot of women are saying about safety. Like what are your thoughts there?
So they're
Say,
saying you're
I
more safe with
mean,
a bear. I love him.
hey, I mean, all I gotta say is, if you are not the type to harm the species, then the species ain't gonna harm you. So I probably say I made me more safe with the bear.
Great.
I mean,
There's a
cause
reason that Vino is choosing the bear, Freddie. There's a reason.
yeah, I
And
mean, I choose the bear. I mean, but if we was in the 1980s
okay.
and under,
Uh-huh.
then I would definitely choose the Hermes. But we pretty much living in the 90s on up. Nah,
You got the bear.
I won't put my hands with no Hermes right now.
All right, Vino. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate your input on the bear versus the human. It's a big
Appreciate
debate.
appreciate you tapping in, Vino.
Thank you, Vino.
Uh,
Thank you for always watching. Oh my God, I love him. I love him. I love Vino.
Yeah, so he basically was saying like, the newer generation. He has less confidence in this newer generation to be with. And it sounds like that probably goes for men and women.
Absolutely.
But I think, like I said, I think with the safety aspect, I think, like I said, we really got to punctuate the differences between men and women, and so that I guess that's not lost on people. Like, hey, look, like that woman is not physically on your level. Like y'all are not the same. Like you can't treat her in this way. You can't
Right.
approach her in this way. So
Right.
there's known, because I think that's lost in a lot of things and a lot of the messaging that we see, that men and women are the same. We're the same. I'm woman, hear me roar, this, that, and the third. And I think like just subconsciously things are lost. And and the thing is, one thing I hate having these conversations with people who are elevated of mind, because a lot of times a lot of people I'm around are elevated of mind, as with you, upperly mobile people who, college degrees, or not saying college
Right.
degree is the only thing that shows you elevated mind, but people who are thinkers. And the thing is a lot of times people who are thinkers then have their dumb moments, because then they forget the vast majority of people are not that.
That's very true. That's very true. The vast majority of people are just kind of like running on autopilot, just la, 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 like not really having, higher level thinking. They're absolutely not. So that's why this debate is so interesting. And I'm sure there's a lot of people in the comments just saying stuff just to be saying stuff and not really thinking about like the basis of why. But I will say with Vino, I do agree, because I think the way that we are raising people, or the way that people are just coming out now in adulthood with social media, with all the things that are available to, affect your growth as a human and an adult, it is a different time. It is a different time. And there are more, there's a lot of energy around men versus women. And I think a lot of people are angry, and there's a standstill going on between the genders. And this speaks to that. This absolutely speaks to that 100%.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, like the messaging, sometimes it could be tough, because like the whole setup is a man or a bear. You know what I mean? And
Right.
it kind of really focused on that. And so when you present this to whatever man you present it to, obviously that man is going to put himself in that position, because it's like, oh, it's just like if you flip it around and like, okay, men, would you rather have like, if you like Drake level money, would you rather leave a woman you don't know unattended in your house for a month, or a dog? You know what I mean? And so you reference that to a woman, she gonna automatically put herself in a situation. And if a bunch of men like, I'd rather have that dog in my house loose
You
for a month.
should propose that. You should propose that question and see
You
what
know what I mean? Because
happens.
it's like, because you start thinking about like, okay, this woman, like, okay, she may go around the house, take a whole bunch of stuff, like, and there ain't no cameras. She in your house unattended. There's no cameras. Nobody knows she's there. That's the scenario. Nobody knows she in your house. She get dropped in your house. Nobody knows, and you got a
People are picking
dog.
the dog. They're picking the dog, Freddie. They're 1,000% picking the dog.
Right, right. And the thing is most people are gonna pick the dog, because it's like, okay, like the dog, the worst thing gonna happen is it's gonna pee and poop in my house. If I got that much money, when I get back, I just call the cleaners, clean this up,
Right.
and keep it pushing.
We going
But the
through stuff. I'm
woman,
looking at stuff.
right, she gonna be everywhere, like, oh, look at this, oh, this is nice, oh, I can take this, and if she got a man, take this for my man, take it for me, or whatever, I sell this or whatever, and that's just
I'm not
about
going to do that, but I'm going to snoop.
right.
I'm going to look around a little bit,
But if you propose that to any woman, she gonna put herself in that, and then she gonna like, she may not be that woman. Like, nah, if you brought me in the house and nobody knew I was there, and I was in the house for a month, like, I'm gonna hang out and kick it or whatever. I'm not gonna take anything or anything like that. She may not be that person, but she here herself. But I think it comes back to a human. It's just a human. If you compare, like, would you rather with a human and an actual animal, in any situation, more than likely somebody's gonna pick the animal,
Well,
because the
think
animal
about
can't.
it. Yeah. I mean, even now when people are like, oh, man's best friend, you look at your animal and you're like, oh, you're the only thing I got. There's a lot of people that feel that way about their animals. I trust my animals more than I trust humans. People are leaving fortunes to their animals. Okay. Like fortunes to their animals. They're like, I F my kids, forget my new wife. I'm leaving it all to my dog. You're like, what? What? He said, women going to rob you blind if you got money. Okay, Vino. All right. Well, I think we've touched on this quite a bit, and so I definitely wanted to get into that, because that was a huge topic. Should we move on to
Yeah, I
the
mean,
prom?
which, it's kind of depressing though. You know what I mean? Like, to hear
You know
people.
what, Freddie? It is depressing. It is really depressing, and like I said, it does not help the cause to bring everybody around together. This is a bit of a
I think it creates something that's, because that scenario is retarded anyway. I mean, it's goofy anyway. It's like, oh, you're in the woods. Like, why are you in the woods all alone? Like, it's just so implausible. It's like,
I don't know why this person came up with it, but they just said it, and it has caused an uproar. It's caused such an
I really
uproar.
feel like they watched the movie The Remnant with Leo DiCaprio or something. They saw what happened to Leo with the bear, and they was like, but a man can do much worse.
I guess so. I guess they're like, well, I'd rather be eaten and killed than whatever they think is possible.
Right. So, guys, make sure we're going to move on to our next topic. Thank y'all for tapping in with us. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, like, comment, subscribe. Go to our YouTube, hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. So, if you want to pop on with us, just like Vino did, to let us know what you think, you can. You know what I mean? You see, it's an open forum. We definitely invite everybody else to come in and drop what you think. You know, sometimes I say things and Drea's friends hate me over it. And sometimes Drea says things and everybody else hates Drea for it. You know what I mean? So,
not really, though. So, just had to throw those little 2 cents in there.
Right. Our next topic,
you guys, is one that I found on Shade Room, which was really interesting. So basically, there is a couple that is going to prom and they have a baby. So they're in high school. And I guess it's now a proposal as well. There's a lot going on in this video. So I'm going to share the screen. We're going to play the clip and then you guys can decide what you think. Okay, let's do it.
Okay, move it, bitch. Okay, move it, bitch.
Okay. So as you guys can see, they're getting ready to go to prom. There's a little girl there. He's proposing. There's a lot going on. So I'm imagining they are around 18, 17, 18. I don't think they're 19, but maybe they're 19. I don't know. And I found the comments really interesting. The first comment I saw is he's 18 with a government job and an apartment. That's their kid. Let him raise his daughter in a 2-parent household with married parents. Be happy. He's willing to step up and take responsibility for the family he created. All the baby mothers out here struggling on their own, and he's going to show his daughter what type of partner she should find for herself one day. A lady says, I graduated high school with 2 kids and a husband at 18, and we celebrated our 17-year anniversary. We have a son graduating from college. Somebody also wrote, don't propose to my child at prom. They already having a kid the size of a Jimmy Neutron. Going to prom is crazy. They already got a kid. They about to graduate. He's making her an honest woman. This feels old school. Somebody said that she will eventually find her real husband. There were some people that were a little negative about it in the comments. Like, oh, she's going to spend, the first years of her life. And then eventually she'll find, it says, love this. She'll learn so much from this marriage. And by the time she's 28, she'll be ready for her real husband. If they're old enough to have a kid, they're old enough to be married. And then someone said, to be honest, some of these teenage relationships are healthier than most of these unaddressed trauma-filled adult relationships out here. They have a kid already. I'm hoping I'm all for them tying the knot. I pray their union is strong and productive. And someone said, other cultures get married young. Why shouldn't they? Now, if they already got a kid that's walking around like this, I mean, I don't know how old she was when she had the kid. I'm assuming she was like 16, maybe.
Right. It looked like she probably about 16.
Yeah, 16. So the kid's probably 2. Listen, if you feel like you were ready to get married, great. I hope it works out. I do. I still think this generation is just a little bit, behind in terms of like commitment and everybody wanting to. Now, look, it is not impossible for this to work out. It is possible. I was watching this show called Soft White Underbelly with this divorce lawyer. You guys should all check it out. It's amazing. His name's Mark Laeta. And a divorce lawyer. It's actually one of his most viewed videos. He was talking about the difference between love and romance. And he called getting married now negligent, that people don't understand what it means to get married, the contract you're signing, all the things that come with your assets, and people just sign their lives away. Now, I do think there's some truth to be said for like the clean slate you have of not having the trauma of all the relationships and your past and people breaking your heart and all that. And I hope it works out. But he said getting married is like playing the lottery and that the odds of it lasting are slim to none. and that you can go buy a lottery ticket, but do not spend your life savings buying lottery tickets because you're probably not going to win. And he said, as a divorce attorney, he's seen thousands of couples and he knows one that actually figured out how to make it right. So I'm not against marriage. I think people should definitely get married. I'm all for marriage. I do think they're very young. I think they're going to be different people in 10 years. And I hope that they can grow together. I send them all the best wishes in the world. I do. I really, I'm a big romantic. I'm a believer in love. And if these two people can figure out a way to make it work, more power to them. But this divorce attorney did say that the way that marriage was set up many years ago, it's not caught up with the times of where we are now. The life expectancy was different. And so now we want these two people at 18, 16 to stay together until, if they're lucky, they're 80. I don't know. I feel like the way our world is set up, the odds are against them. Divorce rate is 56%. I think it was 49. Now it's 56. So, the odds are not in their favor, but if they, can figure it out, have a spiritual program, pray together, do their thing, then maybe they can work it out. But I'm not hopeful, unfortunately. And that's just due to it's true. Numbers don't lie. Now, maybe on the second marriage, that's why somebody said at 28, but they will not be the same people in 10 years. They will not. Now, if they do the maintenance, they go to church, they pray, and they do all the things, maybe they'll stand a chance. But I don't know. So
it's like as we do this, I got people. I'm like responding to DMs, like people are watching this, responding to me in the DMs. I don't know why. I'm trying to get them to go to our YouTube. If you're not on our YouTube, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
Yes, like, comment, subscribe, go to our YouTube, do all the things. Please, we appreciate you. Thank you for coming up again.
With this, if people get married, I'm always hopeful for it.
Yes!
They're young, and so I'm rooting for them. But I think it's that's some nasty work to be like, okay, once she get 28, then she'll figure out how to be a wife and she'll find her real husband. That's some nasty work. And I see you like that comment too, Drea. That's some nasty work too.
But it's true, Freddie. It's true. They will not be the same people. They will not be the same people.
But they could be the same. They could not be the same people together though. That's the whole point.
So.
Here's the whole thing with getting married, and a lot of people, we've missed it because now, because of FOMO caused by social media, and two, you got men being feminine caused by women now being empowered to be masculine. So dating is like I said before, dating is all messed up because women have destroyed dating. Thus, it's a race to the bottom. So then men don't have to do what we used to do to get chicks. And so then women get hurt by that, and then they just degrade what they expect and what they do in dating, and then men just have to do less and less and less. Then women get hurt by that and go further down. And it's just a race to the bottom where relationships are just crap overall. With these youngins right here, one, hopefully somebody in their family has told them about premarital counseling and marital counseling.
Please, I hope. Oh.
And so the thing is that when you get engaged, you should then go to premarital counseling.
100%.
Standard. Just like when you 5, you go enroll in kindergarten to go to school. You get engaged, you go find some premarital counseling. So, like just about every church has it. If you're a tithing member, you can just go to the pastor like, hey, premarital counseling. And he'll line it up, schedule it, and you can do premarital counseling with the pastor or at least the assistant pastor, or if it's a bigger church, one of the marriage counselors in the church. That's standard. After you get married, you should continue to check the temperature of your relationship. Go
100%.
back to marital counseling. You don't wait till it's a problem. You are proactive and not reactive. So you get out ahead of it, so on and so forth. But the thing is that before you get married, the main thing that people don't get to the place where they put the other person first. They still have themselves first. They still want to look out for themselves.
We are a generation of I. How do
exactly? People want to make sure that they're good. It's certain things about themselves they don't want to discuss, certain things they don't want to do, certain things that they don't want to handle, certain things they want to make sure that I'm comfortable, I feel good, and if there's a threat that I could look goofy, I could look stupid, or I can get hurt dealing with this person, or it's going to inconvenience me, then I'm not going to do it for this person that I say I want to marry and spend the rest of my life with and become one with. If you're going to marry somebody, prior to marrying them, you have to get to a place to where this person comes first. My first priority in my life is that person. If you are not there or you can't get there, then don't worry about getting married. But
Don't you
once
think
you
that's
start,
a mature way of thinking, though? Don't you think that's a very mature way of thinking? And I feel like if, at that age, I was not fully aware of what it would actually take to really make a relationship work like that. Like my brain wasn't thinking in those terms of I versus we and kind of understanding. And I agree with you because I think the older you are when you get married, you are more set in your ways. And there is more of like, well, I'm not going to do this. And to your other point, it's true. It's like now there's a whole thing where it's like men don't feel like they're needed. It's not the same when you get married now. The things that you had to do as a man or how you need to show up, it's like women are like, I don't really need a man anymore. So it's completely changed everything. So with this situation, it's like, yeah, I don't know if these two will be mature enough to be like, oh, we're going to go into this as a we, and let's focus on that.
yeah, I mean, I think the main thing is with these kids, they're young and so they're impressionable. So you can get that information to them and they can really receive it and really start to implement it compared to, like you were saying, people get older, they get set in their ways, they get hardened, they get hurt by life, all these other relationships, they get hurt, they get scarred, they get
I
jaded.
ain't changing
And
for
now
nobody.
Right. And now you got to try to get this information to them. It's hard like them. You get this information to them. They can get it super quick and start to apply it and then grow together. But like I said, that comes with the premarital counseling, hopefully that they get. And then they know about marital counseling. Those two things are so key. But that's the reason why people don't grow together, because they go into a marriage and it's like, that person is important. So after I'm good, then I worry about them. Because you hear this in so much coded veiled language that, well, how can I fill their cup and my cup empty?
Right.
People say that they're essentially saying that I got to fill my own cup. And when you get married, you're not supposed to be filling your own cup. You're supposed to be filling that
You
person's
think
cup.
that?
And yes, you're supposed to fill the other person's cup because it's way easier. Like I give the analogy all the time. It's like having a cup on your cup is on your head. Like imagine you trying to fill your own cup and it's on your head when it's way easier to, like, if we were together in a room, I had a cup on my head, you had a cup on your head, it'd be way easier for you to fill my cup. You can see it, you can feel it, boom, and it's on my head and keep going. And
So
I can fill your cup. It's way easier, not gonna spill anything instead of you trying to fill your own cup. It's just like when you go to the club and get a wristband. It's way easier for somebody else to wristband you up for you than you to wristband yourself.
I know, but the whole mindset, which has been very much of our time now, which is you are responsible for your own happiness in your own space. So if I'm feeling good and I'm feeling like myself and all these things, my best self, then I can show up to the relationship as my best self. But ultimately, my well-being is of my own. It's not your responsibility to make me happy. I hate to quote Will and Jada because it's probably not the best. Not the best. I know. But she did say that was one thing that they said when they got married, that they were responsible for their own happiness. And then together they would support. I mean, okay, that wasn't the best thing.
and now you see why they are in the place. Here's the thing. You show up to the relationship responsible for yourself. Once you're in a relationship and then you get married, you then hand off the torch. You hand it over to the other person because the whole point of it is, you go into a marriage, okay, I am a healed whole person. And preferably, reason why I get married this young, how they got married, they don't have to deal with, oh, she was on as some people say, somebody sent me in my DMs, like, oh, women want her to be on the cock carousel and get beat up till she get older, and then now she all jaded and stuff, and then trying to find a man.
On the cock carousel?
The cock carousel.
Oh. I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah. Exactly. And then with men, like, you know, they on that, they dealing with women, they giving their heart and they get hurt. This woman did this, they give it this woman who is,
and then everybody's like this.
Exactly. And so then it comes tougher to do that when, if you younger, and then they probably more than likely they were probably virgins, and then they got together, gave each other's heart. It's genuine and pure. They going into it leading with love, no hurt. It's just like, hey, I'm here for you. Like, let's do it. And it's so innocent. But the thing is you got all these people in these comments have been jaded and they aren't innocent anymore. Their hearts aren't innocent because they're grown adults and they've seen too much, they've experienced too much that it's sullied their heart and they aren't innocent no more. And the fact that you see, like, it's a famous quote. I love this quote because it's so true, even though it sucks. Misery loves company. People are miserable. They want other people to be miserable with them. People don't want to be miserable by themselves. The more, the merrier. And so the thing is that's unfortunately what it is. But these some young, like, innocent kids who had a child and he proposed to her at their prom, and it's like, hey, like, let them rock out, believe in them. Like, that's so pure.
And his heart feels so open, and he's like, let's do this together. I mean, I hope it's like a nice, intentional, pure thing that he's done, and hopefully they've had some conversations with adults and they are aware of what they're doing. But hey, it's a scary world out here, and like I said, I pray that these two lovely people grow together. However, I don't know, social media is a beast. Single people keep people single. Yes, Jesse, that is very true. That is very true.
Single people keep people single. But I think, like I said, that's the main thing. You go into relationships, like, you got to get to that marriage step to where that other person you about to marry, like, you have made that decision in your mind. Like, the reason why I'm married is because I want to put you first. Like, you are, like, when I get up in the morning and wake up until I go to sleep, like, I'm trying to think about what can I do to make your life better. Like, you are, like, I'm coming with you because y'all come together as one. So that person is you. And that's the whole point. And that person doing the same thing. And then you grow together because you guys have cleaved together, to use some biblical terminology. You guys have cleaved together. So as you grow, you can't grow and move without this person moving with you. It's not possible. But people grow apart. People grow apart because they meet people and it's like, hey, me, then you. Once I'm good, once I take care of me, I'm good. Silver, you good? All right. Okay, now what you want? And then the whole time while you making sure self is good and the other person making sure self is good, y'all growing and y'all diverging. And then you look up and it's like, yo, like, this is different. Because here's the thing, when you put that person first and their happiness is first, you are working and trying to always stay connected with them and know who they are, because that's how you understand how to make that person happy and fill their cup. Because when you got to know where their cup is and how full it is and how much you need to put in there. So you're always connected with that person so they can't grow away from you, and vice versa. But if you're worried about self, they can grow away from you because you're focused on your cup.
I know, but there has to be a healthy balance of that. And I think that not everybody knows how to maintain that. And everybody talks about being able to communicate, emotional intelligence, but it is a lot of work and it takes a lot of help. I think you do need a third party. You got to check in, just like you got to check your car, change the oil, do all that stuff. And I do not think that these things are possible without outside help. I do think you always need an unbiased source to kind of tap in, check the engine, see what's going on in your marriage and in your relationship. Because there's a lot of people who are in these marriages, in deep relationships, long-term relationships, and there's so many things that are unsaid. There was a great example from that show I watched, the Soft White Underbelly. And the woman said, I knew my marriage was over when it was something so small. Her husband would always refill her granola. He would always refill her granola. And she never had to say anything. He never made her think about it. He wasn't like, oh, I refilled her. Did you see her filled her granola? It was just like something nice that he did for her. And for him, she always gave him, she swabbed him up, for better use of your every morning. And then slowly but surely, that was like her thing in the beginning of their marriage. Every morning she was like, hey, it was something that would put a little pep in his step. He got a little text message. And then she said one day the granola was not, it was empty and he never refilled it. And then she was like, oh, I guess that stopped too. And nobody knew what came first. But these little things, if we don't talk about these things, if we aren't checking in, over time, we just start separating. And it takes a lot of work to keep these relationships together. And not everybody's mentally equipped. And so that is why with these young kids, I hope that with their pure hearts that they can make this work, because it's not impossible. There's a lot of people in the comments saying, I did X, Y, and Z at 18. I'm still with my partner. More power to you. But we don't know, Freddie B.
And the thing is, a lot of people are like, more than you know, people are doing this, especially in middle America where you got less distractions. It's crazy how people who live in LA and New York, Chicago, Atlanta, Houston, these big metropolises think that they got it made and they got it figured out and this is a better life. But you got people who live in Des Moines, Iowa, Boise, Idaho, all these small towns, Terre Haute, Indiana, all these small middle America towns where people don't really leave the city much, and they have a wonderful life and they happy. And it's like people from these cities be like, oh, y'all small town, y'all ain't doing nothing. But it's like they married with kids, living life, got somebody to come home to every night, sit with their partner, they get old, they sit on the rocking chair with their wife and just be talking and hanging out. But then this person who you ain't living life right is like alone and on the cock carousel.
On the cock, not the cock carousel. Oh my God. I can't with that. I've never heard that before. And it's so true. But more power to them, sending them lots of love. And I hope they figure it out. But only time will tell. Only time will tell, Freddie B.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That's going to do it for us for the Token and the Truth. We will see you guys again soon with more juicy topics. Freddie B, let them know about our YouTube.
Guys, tap in with the YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. Do it right now. Hit those likes, guys. Hit the notification bell. You see it at the bottom right there, at the Token and the Truth. We on IG as well. So tap in with us there. You can see some of the little clips that we post from each episode. And we appreciate y'all. And that's all we need. Like, comment, subscribe, and share with a friend.
Share with a friend, you guys. We'll see you guys again soon. Bye.